Police in Pakistan have arrested at least 129 Muslims following attacks this week on Christian churches and homes. The attacks came following a report that a Christian man allegedly desecrated a copy of the Quran. Soldiers were called in to stop the riot in the Christian colony in eastern Pakistan. The U.S. State Department issued comment on the attacks, saying in part, quote, "We support peaceful freedom of expression and the right to freedom of religion and belief for everybody." Joining us now is Ed Clancy, Outreach Director of Aid to the Church in Need. Ed, great to have you back on. So what more can you tell us about these attacks and what led up to them? I know there are reports that the desecration of the Quran may have been false accusations. What are you hearing?
Well, it's the general rule that an accusation is made without any evidence, and as soon as it happens, it doesn't matter that there's initiation of some sort of crowd dynamic. Generally, it's a call from perhaps from a mosque or perhaps from a cleric, and the crowds become a mob, and the mob just goes and does violence. We've seen this with numerous cases, whether it's accusations of blasphemy against a nurse who was cleaning in a hospital or a little girl who was reading something in class. So it seems to be par for the course for the Christians in Pakistan.
And what's the situation in Pakistan right now? I mean, can you also give us a sense of the overall relationship between Christians and Muslims in that country?
Well, unfortunately, it's not a two-way street where, you can say that both sides are equal. We're in regular communication with some of the educators, the nuns, and people who work in Catholic schools. And like in most very predominantly Muslim countries, the Catholic schools are almost always more Muslim children than Christian children or Catholics. And they serve them and help to educate them beyond what the government might do. And there's a great service there. But the reciprocation is not there. So in this case, there's an accusation of blasphemy. It doesn't have to have any corroboration. It doesn't have to have any proof. And it's just a call to action. And unfortunately, the actions are violence. Last night, there's an estimate of more than 1,000 people spent time, hidden in sugarcane fields because of fear of going home. And those who did return home found nothing. I mean, houses destroyed. There was one comment by a close contact of Aid to the Church in Need that every single light bulb in the house was broken, every single piece of glass, all the furniture was destroyed, every single cabinet or anything that had anything of value, food, was all destroyed and dumped out into the street and just ransacked. The same was true of churches. There's numerous videos that we've gotten, of the actual desecration of the holy places, and then rectories and churches and convents. Essentially now in Jallianwala, it's not safe for Christians to be there, and they've evacuated.
Yeah, it's really, really concerning. As I mentioned, the State Department commented on the attacks and is concerned. What's more, as you know, last year the State Department redesignated Pakistan as a country of particular concern. So, this attack may not come as a surprise, but certainly very concerning to people. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. I mean, the designation is essentially a wonderful starting point, unfortunately, an unfortunate starting point. But more needs to be done. There needs to be more diplomatic and even economic pressure. Where the United States doesn't have the power some of our allies do, especially in the UK and Europe, where they have much more direct relationships economically. And so there should be firewalls so that the Christians don't have to suffer this. What is a Christian community about 2% to do in a country where if they get accused of anything right or wrong, they're immediately punished? There's no really true court of justice. There's just a court of the mob. And so for the Christian community, they really need the help of the international community, the United States in particular. And it has to be more than words. It just can't be a diplomatic phrase or a press release or someone looking sad or stern on camera. It has to be more than that. We have to do something really to help these people and to speak up for them.
Yeah, and Ed, what are the potential penalties for blasphemy in Pakistan? Give us an idea.
Well, the law has three different parts. One is, saying bad or defamatory things about Islam in general. The other is to desecrate the Quran, and the last one is to say, again, terrible things about the Prophet Muhammad. And you serve anywhere from a guaranteed year in prison to life in prison and then finally execution. Now, Pakistan has always said that they've never executed anyone, but they don't have to. All that is needed is the example like this where someone is accused. Now, I'm not saying that there have been people killed in this attack, but we don't know. We literally don't know what the situation is because the people flee for their lives. We don't know their situation. And it won't be days or even weeks until you understand what the damage is. The clerics, the priests who have gone back to some of these places had to go under military escort, literally, be escorted for the protection of their lives just to go back to their own churches. So it's a very difficult situation for Christians, and really more needs to be done to help them.
Yeah, Ed, we're almost out of time here, but quickly, I know that your organization is really involved there in Pakistan. Tell us what the Aid to the Church in Need is doing. I know you're keeping a close eye on the situation.
Yeah, well, we support them on all levels. Obviously, we're a pastoral agency, so we support the life of the church, but it goes down to the very fine level of helping the individuals who get accused of these, in this case, a blasphemy case. They oftentimes need support. Their family needs support. They have to go into hiding. All of those things have to be put into the mix, and we have to understand how to best help them. And the church there does it, and we have to do it quietly and in a way that helps old people the best way.
Ed, thanks so much for weighing in, for your insights and all the work you do. We appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you very much. Please pray for them.
We will.